Hi everyone, welcome back to the Web2 channel. My name is Zach. In this video, we're looking at another institutional player getting into the metaverse. I feel like I've made 3 videos in a row just talking about NYSC, JPMorgan, and other institutions getting in. Let's get into what's happening here. JPMorgan enters the metaverse with virtual decentralized lounge. The metaverse, JPMorgan said, has a market opportunity of $1 trillion USD in yearly revenue. Let's go through what's happening here. Analysts from the bank predict in-game ad spending will reach 18.4 billion USD by 2027. The average price of virtual land doubled from 6k to 12k USD in 6 months last year, according to JPMorgan. They took a big step into the metaverse on Tuesday, jumping into the nascent space with a virtual lounge in a popular blockchain-based world, Decentraland. The Onyx Lounge was unveiled along with a report from the bank outlining metaverse-related growth opportunities for businesses and causes for its explosive interest. When you think about the economics of the metaverse, or metanomics, there are opportunities. Let me see if I can make it a bit easier for you to read. There we go. The opportunities in almost every market area. We are not here to just suggest the metaverse as we know it today will take over all human interactions, but rather to explore the many exciting opportunities it presents for consumers and brands alike. The metaverse, JPMorgan said, has a market opportunity of $1 trillion USD in yearly revenue as creators tap Web3 to monetize their work in new ways. This democratic ownership economy, coupled with the possibility of interoperability, could unlock immense economic opportunities whereby digital goods and services are no longer captive to a singular gaming platform or brand. The bank cited household names such as PwC, Walmart, Nike, Verizon, Gap, Adidas, Hulu, and Atari as early adopters and investors in the blockchain economy. Business leaders and boardrooms around the world are now asking themselves, what is my metaverse strategy? What am I supposed to be doing in the metaverse? What is the metaverse anyway? I'm laughing because I was thinking about and reading up on the metaverse back in 2019 when Matthew Ball was making and writing some really interesting primers on the metaverse that are now being used, it seems, for Fortune 500 companies to consult with Matthew Ball about the metaverse. The average price of virtual land has doubled from 6,000 to 12,000 USD in 6 months last year, according to data from 4 popular metaverse platforms. The bank predicts in-game advertising spending will reach 18.4 billion. That's advertising spending. Let's say that again. That's advertising spending, not even consumer spending. Although the metaverse has evolved very quickly and it is difficult to base a business strategy on such a dynamic space, the risk of being left behind is worth the incremental investment needed to get started. JPMorgan's metaverse move follows Morgan Stanley's related note to clients last month. Analysts at the bank predict the metaverse initial total addressable market in China will be roughly 4 trillion USD as it replaces the mobile internet with a more immersive experience. Once the metaverse begins disrupting offline activities such as real estate showings, vehicle test drives, and education, that figure is projected to soar to 8 trillion USD. We expect the metaverse TAM to be expansive and go beyond the current online consumption market, which is mainly dominated by e-commerce and online entertainment spending. With that being said, I think it's important for us to see what the Onyx Lounge looks like, and after that we'll go into the report that JPMorgan have actually put out. So you're going to love this. This is what the Onyx Lounge looks like from the outside. Again, this is in popular Web3 world, Decentraland. Then this is also another shot of what we can see with like billboards and stuff, right? And inside is the JPMorgan Lounge. And then this is inside the JPMorgan Lounge where we have what seems to be some sort of tiger, maybe 2 people with inside the Onyx JPMorgan Lounge. Not necessarily Call of Duty graphics, shall we say, which Call of Duty graphics aren't the best, but they're pretty damn good. With that being said, let's have a look at what's actually happening here. Let's have a look at not the fluff, but let's have a look at what's actually happening here when it comes to theory and what they are saying here. So this is actually a slide or a presentation from JPMorgan that's titled Opportunities in the Metaverse, how businesses can explore the metaverse and navigate the hype versus reality. But let's go into it. The elements of a new digital age are converging at scale. The metaverse is the driving force, bringing these elements together in a unified immersive experience. The metaverse offers opportunities to transact $54 billion US dollars every year. $54 billion is spent on virtual goods, almost double the amount spent buying music. Socializing, approximately 60 billion messages are sent daily on Roblox, and that's alone. That's Roblox alone. That's not Messenger on Facebook, etc. Create 80 million USD. GDP for Second Life was about 650 million USD in 2021, with nearly 80 million USD paid to creators. And some would argue that Second Life is kind of a dead game. So 80 million USD is crazy. And then of course 650 million USD afterwards. Own 41 billion USD. NFTs currently have a market cap of 41 billion. Experience 200 strategic partnerships to date with the Sandbox, including Warner Music Group, to launch a music-themed virtual world. We're not here to suggest the metaverse as we know it today will take over all human interactions, but rather to explore the many exciting opportunities it presents for consumers and brands alike, whether it's large tech players such as Microsoft planning to create realistic workspaces, or Ariana Grande holding a concert in Fortnite. The opportunities presented by interactive digital worlds seem limitless. The metaverse will likely infiltrate every sector in some way in the coming years, with the market opportunity estimated at over 1 trillion USD in yearly revenues. As a result, we see companies of all shapes and sizes entering the metaverse in different ways, and we've of course looked at these already, so we're going to go forward. What is the metaverse? The metaverse is a seamless convergence of our physical and digital lives, creating a unified virtual community where we can work, play, relax, transact, and socialize. The metaverse is still early in its evolution, and there is no singular or encompassing definition to which people can turn. Themes of what the metaverse is and could be, however, are emerging. A key point is that there is no one virtual world, but many worlds, which are taking shape to enable people to deepen and extend social interactions digitally. This is done by adding an immersive three-dimensional layer to the web, creating more authentic and natural experiences. The metaverse even has the promise of facilitating accessibility from the comfort of the home, breaking down boundaries and democratizing access to key goods. Before diving deeper into the metaverse, it's important to lay the foundation between features of today's metaverse, Web 2 characteristics, and the emerging Web 3 characteristics, while the table below highlights our assessment of the key metaverse features. Between the two, the lines are blurring more and more. So let's have a look at what's happening here. So Web 2 versus Web 3. Interesting table, actually. So let's go over what's happening here. So examples of virtual worlds in Web 2 is Second Life, Roblox, Fortnite, World of Warcraft. Web 3, you have Decentraland, the Sandbox, Somnium Space, and CryptoVoxels. The primary difference, in my opinion, here right now, at least, is the use of blockchain. These all use the blockchain. None of these will use blockchain, or at least do use blockchain currently. These are centrally owned. Decisions are based on adding shareholder value. This one, of course, is community governed, generally through a foundation of DAOs. Native tokens are issued and enable participation in governance. Decisions are based on user consensus, which is also what we saw, of course, with the ENS domain situation with Brantley.eth. Then looking at data storage, of course, centralized versus decentralized, PC, console on the platform versus PC, virtual reality on Web 2, and mobile app, whereas on Web 3, it's basically the same stuff. Then it looks like we're looking at digital assets ownership, leased within platform, where purchased, owned through NFTs, locked within platform, whereas transferable on Web 3, game studios and or developers for content creators, and then game studios and or developers and the community, activity, socialization, multiplayer games, game streaming, etc. And basically everything that you can see in Web 2 is what we can see in Web 3, right, and more. In-platform avatar for your identity, as well as self-sovereign and interoperable identity, anonymous private-based key identities as well. Looking at payment in-platform virtual currency, i.e. Robux for Roblox or V-Bucks for Fortnite versus cryptocurrencies and tokens, and then content revenues. This is a big one. Platform or app store earns 30% of every game purchase, 70% goes to developer, example model. Then we have on the Web3 side of things, peer-to-peer developers, content creators directly earn revenue from sales. Users and gamers can earn through play or participation in platform governance, and then the royalties on secondary trades of NFTs to creators. Moving forward, why metaverse? Why now? The concept of a metaverse is not new. In many ways, it's a linear progression. Online multiplayer role-playing worlds like The Sims or Second Life have been around for nearly 20 years, with players spending on average of 20 hours per week in these worlds. Modern equivalents like Minecraft, World of Warcraft, and Fortnite have hundreds of millions of users and huge supporting economies. We're now at an inflection point where it seems that not a day goes by without a company or celebrity announcing they are building a presence in a virtual universe. While the buzz can partially be attributed to attention-grabbing headlines, there is a convergence signs of emerging trends. A number of new technologies have come to enable this vision of the metaverse. AR and VR headsets have become cheaper and more powerful, improving the user experience. Blockchain has enabled digital currency and NFTs. The new methods to transact and own digital goods are allowing creators to monetize their activities through tokens. In addition to monetization and as a means to exchange value, token holders can also participate in the platform's governance, i.e. vote on decisions. This democratic ownership economy, coupled with the possibility of interoperability, could unlock immense economic opportunities whereby digital goods and services are no longer captive to a single gaming platform or brand. From a social perspective, the development of more immersive virtual experiences is helping people to build communities based on shared values and to express themselves in more authentic ways. Whilst the pandemic accelerated the digitization of our lives and normalized more persistent and multi-purpose online engagement and communication, it is this combination of technological, social, and economic drivers that is resulting in the explosive interest in the metaverse. And I think what a lot of people are seeing in the Web3 space is that, especially when it comes to gamers, they're really starting to both push back, but I would say that's honestly the vocal minority of gamers versus gamers who still don't really know what NFTs or the metaverse is. But the moment that a really good game / Web3 platform does what they need to do correctly when it comes to interaction, socialization, etc., all of that stuff combined, then gamers will really understand what's going on here and they'll love it, I reckon. When you think about the economics of the metaverse or metanomics, there are opportunities in almost every market area. Before I go onwards, you might be asking, why haven't we seen that yet? It's because it's so early. It's as simple as that. Decentraland sandbox. My guess is that what we have right now is not what it's going to look like in 5 years. In the same way that Minecraft back in 2012 looks very different, or at least fairly different, to what we see in 2022, 10 years later. Imagine you have an online avatar and you want to change what it is you were wearing. You'll be able to buy limited edition digitally branded clothes that you pick after browsing a virtual showroom, or you may start your own small business, such as an art gallery where you display your latest and greatest collections, or a virtual private club. Looking at how the metaverse has evolved, which we're going to have to zoom out for, I think, how the metaverse has evolved. The metaverse is evolving from the 2 decades of gaming and will be built upon gaming infrastructure. So literally what I just said. And I haven't read this before, to be clear. I'm just going off my own personal experiences. So back in 2003, Second Life is released. Back in 2007, RuneScape reaches 1 million members. 2008, PlayStation Home, that's a good one, is released on PlayStation 3. October 2010, World of Warcraft reaches 12 million paid, I believe, subscribers. August 2013, Riot sells out League of Legends finals at Staples Center. August 2014, Amazon acquires Twitch for $1 billion roughly USD. 2014, Microsoft acquires Minecraft for $2.5 billion USD, which was a steal. To December 2018, Fortnite gets Epic Games $3 billion USD in profit for the year. In 2020, Decentraland was released. In 2021, Roblox tops 39 billion USD in market cap in its IPO. Facebook changed its company name to Meta. Then in January of 2022, Microsoft announces plans to acquire ABK, and prior to that, virtual land adjacent to Snoop Dogg Sandbox real estate sells for 450,000 USD in ETH. Now, not all of this is necessarily proof of metaverse or massive, improvements and developments, I guess. So for example, I remember hearing Raoul Pal talking about the Snoop Dogg adjacent land and be like, is that really going to be helpful based on X, Y, and Z? That being said, this video is already too long to go over all of that, so let's just continue to go forward. And actually looking through this, we're going to be here for an hour if I continue doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on this video, but in a different video. So if this video is interesting and helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, a like is always much appreciated. Make sure to subscribe to Web3 for everything happening in the Web3 space, because covering everything happening from crypto, NFT, and metaverse news. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the next Web3 video.